Good morning, everybody. How's it going? I hope your Monday is taken off without a hitch. Unlike mine, it just has to be Monday for it to be a bad day. I see Tiffany left a super sticker, so we're off to a good start. And Fun to Ski gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Boy, that's a way to start the week. Now, we had a couple of shows over the weekend. Saturday and Sunday. That would be the weekend, right? So if you missed those, go back and check them out. I know it's rare that I do a show on the weekend. It seems like it's getting a lot more common, though. We have a lot going on, a lot to talk about. I have a feeling this is going to be a really busy week. A really busy week. We have like this extreme change in temperature, which has given me a bit of a dull headache, so bear with me. I've been sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. I think I'm allergic to OJ, but she doesn't care. It just bothers her that I keep sneezing because it bothers her naps, but that's okay. That's okay. There's a YouTube update. Rowena messaged me this morning. I think Greg Flatten said he went through it. Did anybody else get a prompt from YouTube that you had to update anything? Because that's just going to screw everything up. It's like every 3 months they want to update or change something. God, it drives me nuts. Let's see who's in here. Rowena said it sucks. Hello, Fed Up. Hello, Misty Dew. Hello, Kamari. Mama K did not get an update. Nope. Blue Eyes Dumpling. Dolores had a 4-day long migraine with the weather. Oh my God, I couldn't handle that. Hell no. Hello, Tree Baby. I did see in here when I was getting set up that Nene was listening to Christmas music. Y'all make fun of me for putting my Christmas tree up in the middle of October. What do you think about Nene listening to Christmas music before Valentine's Day? I belly laughed at that. Hello, Alma. Hey, Asher. We haven't seen you in a while, Asher. How are you? What is going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Today at 9 a.m. Fruitland, Idaho time, Lana had to help me because I couldn't find it. Sarah has a hearing. She also has a hearing tomorrow. Now, from what I'm reading, tomorrow is the preliminary hearing. It can't get here fast enough because preliminary hearing means we hear more of what the state has to continue holding Sarah and working towards trial. Now, I see that there's a hearing today and a hearing tomorrow. Usually a preliminary hearing goes on for several days. So we're going to have to find out what's going on here. Hello, Suzanne. How are you, love? I haven't seen you in a while, except for on Facebook. You guys share some funny stuff. Bob came in with coffee. Good grandma made it in. She's my neighbor up in Kansas. So I want to know what's going on with this prelim. It's supposed to be tomorrow. Preliminary hearings are normally several days. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Brandon Shirtliff, or Shirtless, as some people call him. His mom spoke out via Facebook Messenger to KTVB. Seems that she's looking for some sympathy. It's not going to work around here. Not going to work in this neighborhood. Brandy gave a very emotional interview to KTVB. Knocked it out of the park. What she said is all this time, Brandy and Tyler have been looking for little monkey. They've been looking for their son, looking for their baby boy. Brandon was with Sarah that day. He talked about Applebee's and shit. Adrian was with Sarah that day. Sarah brought Adrian up When the police knocked down her door and said, "Hey, we're here," she said it was God, Stacy, Adrian, everybody but her. They've had all this time to open their mouth and they didn't. Not a word. Watching Brandy walk around handing out flyers. And that goes for Sarah's parents as well. They're very well aware what's going on in that neighborhood. Brandon's mom, Tina, who seems to be looking for sympathy. I understand this is an inconvenience to her. I don't give a shit. They've had all this time. It's not like the police were saying, hey, well, I mean, obviously, if you witnessed an abduction, you would say something. If you know anything, if you can think of anything weird that was going on that day, they were begging for just the smallest amount of information, just anything to get them going. None of them said a word. None of them said a word. Unforgivable. Forget it. We don't have time for people like that. Let's get to the comments and get up to speed. I am way behind because last week we had the ice storm, So it's just kind of hit and miss around here. And we are going to get caught up, at least with Monkey, real fast today because I want to hear what goes on at the hearing, which is at 9 o'clock, Fruitland, Idaho time. And of course, the hearing tomorrow. Let's get to some comments. The link is pinned. Don't be shy. Okay, after the last show, Debbie, and I cannot pronounce your last name, Debbie, but you're going to recognize your comment. By the way, if I showcase your after show comment, send me an email. You'll figure out why. Debbie said, imagine finally finding the person who can give answers about your son and they won't talk. She said, I started watching this story as it unfolded and I don't know how Brandy hasn't had a damn stroke. God, she and Tyler must be beside themselves. I wish for them as much strength and faith as I could possibly need. That's the people that if you heard they had a stroke, you'd go, well, no shit, I figure it hadn't happened already. Ah, Debbie's in here. She's telling me how to pronounce her name. I take your word for it. I don't think anybody would doubt for 2 seconds if someone said, I heard Tyler had a stroke. Or I heard Brandy had a stroke. We'd be like, yeah, I bet they did. I bet they did have a stroke. Not trying to cross cases, but you know what I'm talking about. Carrie Furman said the police must have so much more information that's not being let out to the public. Shaking my head. Pay prisoners to get info out of them. I get it, Carrie. I get it. Oh, now OJ's sneezing. God forbid my cat gets sick. I get it. A lot of people are really frustrated. They're like, look, they had this news conference. They put up pictures of Sarah and Stacy and Adrian and Brandon and nothing. Well, I think the update that Fruitland Police gave a few days ago partially answers that. We're going to look at that in a second. I'm a Meme Girl said Shirtless said he lived, all in capital letters, with the Wandras. It was basically a homeless flop house. Think it was more than that. Think there was a lot of illegal activity going on inside that house. I think there was a lot. I think there was a lot. When Chief Huff says this is a multi-faceted investigation, I think they're going to uncover a lot. I think there's a ring going on here. I think it's going to go further than these 4 deadbeats. Scum. LLP says, when I saw the update from Fruitland, I said there's about to be a big break. Tina needs to multiply her anxiety 5 million. I'm sorry. Tina needs to multiply her anxiety times 5 million, and that would be a little bit of what Brandy and Tyler have gone through daily since July of 2021. Hell yes. All I can say to that comment is word. Word. I have to read it again. She said, when I saw the update from Fruitland, I said, there's about to be a big break. I think so too. Tina, who is banquet beer drinking in the hot tub Brandon's mama. Tina needs to multiply her anxiety times 5 million. That would be a little bit of what Brandy and Tyler have gone through daily since July of 2021. I was like, yep, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, Lana's backstage drinking coffee. She's waving. Let's see what Lana's up to, and we're going to get through all this. Good morning, Lana.
Good morning, Brooks. Good morning, everyone in chat. If I missed you guys, I appreciate everyone being here.
Mermaid just snuck in. I missed Mystified. She's in. Nani just got in. So what do you think about that comment? Tina's got some nerve. Tina needs to multiply her anxiety times 5 million. And that would be a little bit of what Brandy and Tyler have gone through. When I saw it, I was like, yeah, word.
Yeah, I'm pretty lit up about Tina and how this is all inconveniencing her and her baby boy and his angelic life and all of that. Yeah, how can she as a mother watch another mother on the news? And she's seen it. She admitted to law enforcement. She's seen the story. She's seen Brandy's face and said it's gut-wrenching to her to see Brandy's face on the news. How can you not say anything? And these people, they're not talking. I spoke to Brandy yesterday. Don't think that because Ellie said they have spoken to Brandon and Adrian that, they're just being so compliant and they helped and they're giving all kinds of information, because that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. They're not talking. Sarah's not talking.
Nope.
Nobody's talking about where Michael is at.
Nope. Nope, not at all. And I do think that Brandon and Adrian have more information for sure. For sure.
1,000%.
Now, before I get to the article, hang on, where did it go? I've got so many tabs open. Bear with me. When asked about, there is a warrant out for Brandon. Now, it's not the type of warrant where they're going to get the U.S. Marshals and go track him down. He's in North Dakota. Tina knows where she's at. Now, when they had the press conference and they put all their glamour shots up for everyone to see, I wonder have Tina called Fruitland Police and said, that's my son, Brandon. I bet she didn't. When asked about the warrant, she goes, oh, his attorney's dealing with that. His attorney's not making any damn deal for him. His attorney probably told him what all attorneys tell criminals. Shut up. Just don't open your mouth. When they have enough evidence, we'll deal with it then. That's defense 101, right?
Correct.
We've seen it over and over in these cases. Defense attorneys say, don't talk to anyone. Shut your mouth. Delete your social media. If they have something, you'll be the first to know, believe me. His mother's trying to act like he is Mr. Cooperative.
Yes, she is.
I'm trying to find the part. Hang on one second, because
they prayed prayed with the police and opened her home and, fed everyone and was so loving.
They didn't eat her nasty ass food, I guarantee it.
No, they didn't. I agree.
No, she's out of her mind. Okay, it says shirtless mother speaks. This is just the article. I'm jumping around because we have a lot going on. Bear with me. Okay, so it's on the screen. Shirtless mother speaks. Where is Shirtless? According to his mother, Tina, he's in North Dakota and she knows his location. Cool. Cool. Okay. Tina told KTVB via Facebook, she's not going to go on camera and you're not going to burn up her cell phone minutes. So she just went back and forth with them through Messenger. Little effort. She has just barely any effort. That her son is not running and he has nothing to hide. Well, then bring your ass from North Dakota to Fruitland. If you have nothing to hide. She said, we have all been cooperating, but this has outright turned into total harassment of Brandon and our family. It used to be innocent until proven guilty. Now it's guilty without proof. Oh, no, lady, I don't think you understand. I don't think she understands. You see, it still is innocent until proven guilty. It still is. And they have been given a lot of leniency. They are even pointing fingers at me and telling me I'm lying and hiding something, she said. Well, who is they? Please tell me she's not worried about internet strangers, or did the police say to her, we think you know more?
I read that as law enforcement as well, Brooks. I think she's saying law enforcement. She's alluding that law enforcement said to her that she knows.
That's what I'm thinking too. Because what is she in Bring Monkey Home Facebook groups? Is she in there talking to people? I don't think so.
No, I already checked. She's not.
Okay. I haven't seen her name in any comments, so I think the police told her, we think you're lying and we think you're hiding something. Hence why we're at your house. Tina claims she opened up her home to police when they came knocking. Good call, Tina. She said, I gave them food and water, prayed with them, and allowed them to run their dogs and people through my house and yard. They did find my toilet was leaking, which I'm grateful for. I see where her son gets it now. So she did.
There's some connotation and some attitude there. She let them run the dogs through her home.
Well, I mean, they could have come right back with a warrant.
She cordially allowed them to trample through her home.
And she made them food. No, I guarantee they didn't take a drink of water out of her sink. I guarantee they didn't eat any of her nasty ass food. I promise they didn't. But she says, I gave them food and water, prayed with them, and allowed them to run their dogs and people through my house and yard. They did find my toilet was leaking, which I'm grateful for. She claims that their cadaver dogs smelled the poop outside. What poop? Near her vent and crawl space, which was near her leaking toilet, she said. Is she crazy or what's going on here? Public Relations Director Mark Sullivan works for the Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue, a team that has been very active in the search for Michael. He consulted with canine experts on his team who told him that no, cadaver dogs do not alert on human feces.
Nope.
That's not what they're smelling. Sullivan said that he's never heard of a canine dog being trained to find people's shit. That's not what they're looking for.
No.
Each dog has a very specific reaction that it does when it does what it's trained to do, he said via text message. So what was the dog's reaction? Because it was not her leaking toilet.
Exactly. Exactly. The dog did not alert to feces. The leaky toilet is her story that she's offering up. for the reason why cadaver dogs allegedly alerted, for them to dig in her crawl space or backyard.
Mhm. Well, and a cadaver dog isn't gonna pick up on, let's say, they haven't taken their trash out in a while. A cadaver dog isn't gonna have a reaction to a smelly trash can, saying it's got a baby diaper in it.
Right.
Let's say you've got moldy food around your car, like you have a McDonald's sack you haven't taken out or something. Dog's not gonna alert to that. The dog alerted around her house, and she said it's a leaking toilet. Each dog has a very specific reaction that it does when it does what it's trained to do. It's not trained to find a leaking toilet. And a leak this whole thing is just crazy. And a leaking toilet is not gonna I don't even wanna get too graphic, but
I've watched a couple of things. It's actually fascinating. If anyone watching this wants to go down that rabbit hole about these dogs and how they're trained, there's a lot of videos out there and what they can do and showing how they alert, and yeah, some of them will lay down, some will put a paw out, it's kind of different per each dog in what they do. But I've seen videos where they've trained them and they've had the car that they were having the dog, go to find human scent. And they had the car filled with all kinds of distractors, like you're mentioning, garbage, burgers, dirty diapers, all kinds of things. And the dog went right where it was supposed to, where the human DNA had been left and
I
alerted.
which one did you watch? I saw the one where they were training the dogs at the body farm at ORNL, Oak Ridge National Laboratories. I think it's in Tennessee. And just like what you were saying, they will have all kinds of stinky things, I'll say it that way, and the dog will go straight to what it's trained to do, which in this case is a human.
Right.
So it will bypass the moldy cheese, or like in this case, they had like curdled milk. They had all kinds of things that would, I mean, any of us would smell it and go, God, what is
Yeah.
it?
If
But
if those dogs did in fact alert around her crawl space, then they were alerting to human being, period.
period, because that's exactly what they're trained to do. Very interesting that she just had to say that the dogs alerted her that she has a leaking toilet. No. All right. So part of her exchange with Alexandra Duggan is she says, I know my son's heart. He loves kids, animals, the elderly. He doesn't love her too much, for sure, because he has put her in a very bad situation. He has a tender heart. God, when I hear how big someone's heart is, I know it instantly what I'm dealing with. He's always giving of all he has. He would give his last morsel of food or his only shirt, even not in the hot tub, right? He just always seems to choose the wrong type of people to be friends with. Well, you know what they say about birds and feathers, right?
Right. He's not responsible. He's just hung out with the wrong people.
Mhm. Alexandra said, do you know where he is in North Dakota right now? Have you been speaking to police as well? She just says yes and yes. Why hasn't he come forward to speak to police about this if what they said was true? He's not running, he has nothing to hide, and we have all been cooperating. And it goes down. That's where she says his attorney's handling it. All right, so the interview goes on. Tina says they came back with 17 cars, dogs, and shovels, and dug where the dog alluded to the following day. They found nothing but my leaking toilet, Tina wrote. We have cooperated fully since all this began. No, this all began in July of 2021. She needs to
Correct.
define began.
Correct.
Our attorney will probably be calling a press conference for all of this slander.
Yeah, he has a child, somebody asked. Both Brandon and Adrian are parents. They're both fathers. From what I know, they're not very involved with their children. So I don't want to get their children, and the mothers of their children clearly have nothing to do with this at all.
Mm. Chief Huff said he could not elaborate on Tina's comments due to the nature of the investigation. KTVB went to Tina's home in Kuna to speak to her further, but she didn't answer her door. Police said in December that they had searched a home in Kuna without a warrant, but did not elaborate. Law enforcement does not need a warrant if the homeowner lets them inside willingly. Okay. And just because she let them in willingly doesn't mean that she's cooperating. Personally, if the police want to look at my house, they're going to bring a warrant. That's all there is to it. I want to know what they're there to search and why. That's my right as a citizen, and I'm that's what I want. But she thinks opening the door and cooking up a non-existent meatloaf means she's cooperating. No, not at all. And as far as the canines, they are only there for decomp. So what they smelled for a reason, and that's the reason that they came back the next day with 17 cars, dogs, and shovels. That's insane. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. All right, so the update reads that came out last week, and I agree with LLP that says she thinks something's going to break soon. I do too. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. We'll see. The update reads, the Fruitland Police Department continues to investigate the abduction of Michael Vaughan. For those in the back that are still saying Tyler and Brandy have done something to Little Monkey, this is for you. The Fruitland Police Department continues to investigate the abduction of Michael Vaughan. At this stage in the investigation, investigators are working to validate information and follow up on new information we have received as a result of the last press conference. I tell you what, I bet when they released Stacy and Sarah's identity and Brandon and Adrian, I bet the floodgates open. It says during the search warrant at 1102 Red Wing, investigators recovered several pieces of evidence. Some of those pieces have been sent to a private DNA lab for further analysis. That process will take time, and we are patiently waiting for results. I was asked why what they recovered from the house didn't go to the state lab. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that meeting. A lot of people say it didn't go to state lab because of the state lab having the backlog from the Idaho 4 in Moscow. It makes sense, but
I'm not sure if that's exactly it. I do know from family that what was recovered went to multiple labs for verification. Sorry, there's an echo on my iPad for some reason. But it went to multiple for verification, and the family does not know what was taken from the house specifically, but they were told that evidence existed that Michael was inside the house.
Also, it being a private lab, it could be a particular type of testing that is not done on a state level. We've seen that in other cases too. I'm just saying.
So Alex said that they extended Sarah's status conference to March 20th on her Twitter.
Well, shit. Does that mean Sarah's still nuts? Or I mean, what is she trying to do?
Yep, Sarah's still nuts per the state of Idaho. She still doesn't understand her charge her, or she can't participate in her defense. That's competency level.
Okay, so there'll be no prelim tomorrow then. That's safe to say.
No, they can't do a prelim without her having competency. So
you're cutting out a little bit and you have an echo. Why don't you try to get out and get back in?
Okay.
Do you mind doing that? Because you're cutting in and out. And all right, so it's March 20th now. I've got to write that down. All right, so I'll go back to the update. So they said that they have sent what they retrieved to a private DNA lab for further analysis. That process, they said, will take time and they're patiently waiting for results. I think, see, the search was in November, December, January. It was 3 months. 3 months. Of course, I don't know. I don't know how long all that stuff takes. But anyway, this investigation is multifaceted and will take time to bring to a conclusion. Our partnerships with assisting agencies are strong, and we continue to work closely with the Payette County prosecutor. We continue to ask for the community's patience as we pursue justice for Michael. The Fruitland Police Department is extremely grateful for the community support and all of those who have had the courage to bring new information forward. Now, besides the private DNA lab, what really got me was when they said the Fruitland Police Department is extremely grateful for the community support. Okay, that goes without saying. And all of those who have had the courage to bring new information forward. I think we have Lana back. There's Lana. All of those who have had the courage to bring new information forward. I'm just wondering how, they, oh my God, they have, they said the tip line was ringing off the wall when they released these names. I have a feeling when this breaks, it's going to break big. I'm not going to be surprised if there's not more than just these 4 imbeciles.
No, it's clear that Brandon's mom is covering for something, and I've often wondered, as you said earlier on, the level that Sarah's own parents have knowledge because they live on the same block and own her home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you guys hear Lana okay now?
Is that better? I didn't hear anything on my side, so thank you for letting me know.
Oh, it's okay. I happened to see it in chat and I knew you were cutting out a little bit, and sometimes that does the trick. Sometimes that does it.
Yeah, unplug it and plug it back in, right?
Just exactly like an old Magnavox TV. You never know.
So March 20th, I was just scrolling through Alexander Duggan's Twitter while I was waiting to get back in. It looks like she quoted the state health and welfare said in court that it's, quote, rational based on the facts laid out in that report to continue her commitment.
Okay. Okay. Well, it is what it is, and that gives them, more time to wait on their DNA from the lab. I do wonder who's the one that alerted them to what went on at the house. They said somebody who was at the house. Who do you
At
think
the
it is?
house. I think it's Sarah's parents because Chief Huff is so particular with his wording, and since they own the home, they would be at the home, in the home, all of that. So I almost wonder if there came a point in this process where her parents either suspected their crazy daughter and husband were up to no good, or knew of something or saw something and may have been that credible tip.
Yeah. See, and with her, okay, September 16th, Sarah Ramsey, see, she started using her old last name. She said, I just want to put out there, if you are my friend and know I am going through this divorce right now, just know as much as I wish I could delete the other profiles I have right now, Stacy blocked me out of all accounts. So they unfortunately are still there, but I have blocked them, and thank God I don't have to look at them anymore. But I don't have a way to delete them, so just ignore them. No, I'm not with him anymore ever again. Praise be to God. Now that was a couple of months before everything all hell broke loose in November. I'm wondering if her parents didn't say something regarding him, not her. And when they started investigating, they were like, Thanks for the tip, but your daughter's involved too.
Right. Right. And that could be because, we all know through the process they had to have probable cause or evidence to get the warrant to be there. And from Sarah's statements, allegedly, during that search is what gave them enough evidence to arrest her for knowledge of Michael's death. At least that's how I've read it and understood that process. So I do think it was that. I think it was that her parents, and again, I'm just speculating, on the wording of Chief Huff, that her parents suspected, the
They
guys at home were involved and maybe not her.
Because things started getting real heated up at the after Labor Day. She was doing a lot of posting about how she can't stand Stacy. Stacy's the
Mhm.
worst thing that's ever happened to her. He's blocked me out of all my accounts. Now, how can he do that from jail? He's been in jail since March.
Right.
But I have a feeling she was really telling her parents a lot of stuff, and Michael's name came up, and they were like, oh, hell. But what they weren't thinking is that, I mean, I think they would have turned her in regardless. I don't know why I think that. I don't know the people. Or
I
maybe
don't
not.
know because I'd like to think that parents would turn in their adult children in a situation like this, but then we have situations like the Laundries, where they helped that, I mean, if my adult son's girlfriend was living with us and then he came home and she was not with him, I would be asking a hell of a lot of questions, and the same thing here. I don't know. We'll find out what they did know and when they knew it, that will come out in the wash. But I think that a lot of these parents around these four wackos knew a lot more than they are alluding to, and that they're only coming forward because their hand is forced now. They didn't come forward when it mattered.
For sure.
I
Because
guarantee there's going to be someone who's going to sit on a stand that saw Michael alive with these people and did nothing.
that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking too. And they're gonna get prosecuted. They're gonna get charged. At the end of March, Sarah Wandra is with Stacy Wandra, having a hubby and wifey moment. Love you, Bowie Bear. You are so handsome. I can't wait till our anniversary. If God allows us to make it, God bless you, babe. Why would God not allow them to make it? On their anniversary is when they got arrested. They got arrested on their anniversary. Now, he's still in jail. She got out. I guess, I mean, did her parents bail her out in April?
I don't know. I think I went and looked at that because I think she's on probation or something for those charges, or they were resolved. Um, but yeah, she was out after that.
Because she got out really fast. They left Bowie Bear in the clink. So then over the summer, nothing, 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 nothing. But it was very telling when Chief Huff talked about persons of interest. Listen to this.
I'm not going to really get into too deep on the persons of interest, but I will tell you there are multiple. Okay.
Are there any people that you interviewed or searched that have been non-cooperative?
Yeah, there have been.
Just the way he said it, like you said about Chief Huff and his wording. He said, I'm not going to get into persons of interest because there's multiple. Has anybody not been cooperative? And he says, yeah, there have been. So at that time, Bowie Bear was in jail. Sarah's out. And I'm wondering if they even had any idea who Brandon and Adrian were. Multiples more than one. We got four now. Mm-hmm.
It just makes me sick. It's so heartbreaking. Brandy called me yesterday and they'd had an update from detectives regarding all of this because the article and there's some things that she couldn't share, but the one thing she did share was that nobody's talking. No, nobody's talking. Nobody's like really just sitting down and going, okay, I'm going to tell you everything I know, whether it's relevant or not. I'm just going to give it to you and you go decide. Nobody's coming forth and saying, I know what happened to Michael and where he's at. Nobody, nothing. They have to sit and wait to find Michael while, the process plays out for these wackos.
Yeah. And they're not going to. I mean, they're going to participate in their own defense. They're going to defend themselves. That's what they're going to do. But now the people that are around them, like Tina, like Sarah's parents, maybe yeah, I don't know anything about Stacy. I think they need to start awakening the memory bank of what was going on at the end of July 2021. We know Brandon's not going to. We know Adrian's not going to. Sarah isn't competent supposedly right now. She will get competent though, don't worry. Stacy's sitting in jail. It's not like they're making any deals with Stacy if you've noticed cuz he's still sitting in jail. That leaves us with
He's
the
also not cooperating though.
no.
Is the thing. He's not talking. He's not cooperating with law enforcement. So he's not trying. He's not responding to them. He's doing the same thing. He's just not playing the crazy card, but he's definitely not bringing information forward, and he is not cooperating with law enforcement right now.
You know, not to state the obvious, but what does that tell us? I mean, he's not even trying to lie.
No, no, that's why again it just kind of reaffirms to me there's been some speculation on, oh, maybe Stacy stitched on Sarah, or Sarah stitched on Stacy. And you've reviewed their socials a few times here on your channel. We all know how crazy their weird little bond is. I've never felt that they snitched on each other. I've always felt that someone outside of that marriage, that her parents, were the ones that called in the tip. I don't think that they are. I think they are going to support each other. I think Sarah and Stacy are going to support each other through the entirety of this
And
case.
what's so weird to me about that is they're divorced. I mean, they did not have a good breakup, if you know what I mean.
Wait, I thought the divorce was stopped and it didn't go through. They're still legally married.
Oh, I did not. I forgot about that.
I'd have to go pull it on my courts.
Because September 16th, she was going through the divorce. She said, Stacy blocked me out of all accounts, but I have blocked them, and thank God I don't have to look at them anymore. But I don't have a way to delete them. So just ignore them. Yeah, like people are just gonna ignore the crazy stuff. Hell no. Um, I'm not with him anymore ever again. Praise be to God. That was in September. Of course, he's still in jail. Then she gets arrested in November. That's why I thought things over the summer must have gotten real heated, and she must have said enough to her parents. I'm just speculating, though. I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, I get it. Same. I do agree with you that some things are probably said to her parents over the summer that caused, them to call in and be that credible tip that Huff mentioned.
Well, and where were her parents? This is their wedding. Look at this. Look at how the justice of the peace reacts to them.
All right. We have rings or no? All right. We are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in matrimony. Now I charge you both to remember that love and loyalty and a constant effort to make each other happy are the foundation of a happy home and a successful marriage. If the vows you're about to make are kept, your home will be full of joy and abiding peace. Sir, will you, Stacy Wandra, have this woman to be your wedded wife? Will you love her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, and keep yourself only unto her as long as you both shall live?
I do.
All right. Sarah, will you, Sarah Ramsey, have this man to be your wedded husband? Will you love him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, and keep yourself only unto him as long as you both shall live?
Okay.
All right. Stacy, will you take her right hand?
This is my right hand.
Oh, got it.
And repeat after me. Is it Wandra? I, Stacy Wandra,
I, Stacy Wandra,
take thee, Sarah Ramsey,
take thee, Sarah Ramsey,
to be my wedded wife,
to be my wedded wife,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
and thereto I pledge you my faith.
and thereto I pledge you my faith.
Okay. Stacy, will you please repeat after me? I, Sarah Ramsey,
I, Sarah Ramsey,
take thee, Stacy Wandra,
take this Stacy Wandra
to be my wedded husband,
to be my wedded husband,
to have and to hold
to have and to hold
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
and thereto I pledge you my faith.
and thereto I pledge you my faith.
Okay, for as much as you, Stacy Wandra, and you, Sarah Ramsey, have consented together to live in wedlock, and to have the same before me, and the authority vested in me as magistrate judge in Washington County, Idaho, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride.
What the hell? Why are they like wrestling with each other? What the hell is that?
Oh my God. I'm
What
just
the hell
laughing. I'm laughing at chat how people are like unable to eat their breakfast.
Oh, fuck. I
They're
mean, what is this
making-
like is he putting his WWE moves on her? Look at this shit.
Uh,
No wonder
So-
no wonder her parents turned him in. This is the wedding photo. Look at this.
Magistrate judge in Washington County, Idaho, I now pronounce
So
you
I looked up
husband
their
and wife.
divorce and it was filed in 2019.
Anna, you missed it. He's taking her down again. What the fuck?
I now have
Does
the pleasure
this-
of presenting Mr. and Mrs. Stacy.
They're so weird.
Well, could you imagine being at the altar and it's bad enough he doesn't know left from right and the justice of the peace can't keep your names right and then he puts a wrestling move on you? He's like, let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
Billy Bear likes WWE.
My God. Holy shit. He's like, I'm going to do an icebreaker. It's SmackDown time. I've never seen that before. Have you, Lana?
No, it's a weird wedding. That's for sure.
Where's Summer said, what's the tattoo on his arm? Let's look at his arm. What does that say on his arm?
Ohana?
Ohana.
Maybe? I don't know. I'd have to scroll in a little bit. It looks to me like it says Ohana. Or, yeah. Or is that a CH? Is that OHANA or CH? Change? I don't know. I'm the worst.
It says Ohana. Ohana?
Ohana?
Uh-huh.
Which, what, from Lilo and Stitch? Ohana means family. Family never gets left behind.
I don't know. I don't know. Grabs the wrong hand. Does she have a wig on?
She might.
Spicy Sugar says Ohana means family. Mystified said in the highest Ohana. Well, what does WrestleMania in front of the Justice of the Peace mean? I want to know.
It's odd. It's so odd.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. They just need to start talking, quit being wackos, and start telling us what happened with Michael.
Because April 13th is their wedding anniversary. How the hell I would know that is really sad. That's when they got arrested. So April 13th, 2022. Now we're coming up on April 13th, 2023. They're in on this together.
Okay, so their divorce didn't actually get finalized until May 20th, 2022. It stayed vacated from the filing in 2019 until it defaulted May 20th, 2022. So they were married legally that whole time.
Okay, so the divorce got finalized in May of 2022.
Correct. May 20th, 2022. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, but on March 26, 2022, she says, having a hubby and wifey moment. Love you, Bowie Bear. You are so handsome. I can't wait till our anniversary if God allows us to make it. God bless you, babe. So she's planning on an anniversary, April 13th. They get arrested.
Yeah.
The divorce is final in May, and well, here we are.
Yep, it's interesting.
Huh. I mean, it just can't get any stranger. It just can't. I mean, because you post this to Bowie Bear, and 2
Bowie
months later,
Bear.
you're divorced?
Bowie Bear.
Yeah. Because then in September 16th is when she posts this, and she's pissed at the world. Never, ever, anymore, ever again is what she's saying about Bowie Bear.
Just like Brandon, never did I ever hear the name Michael Vaughan. Oh, except that one time.
I like when he said, like, right before my own eyes. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It didn't happen in front of my eyes.
It certainly didn't happen right in front of my eyes, he said. Well, this happened right in front of my eyes. Her and Bowie Bear. This is disgusting.
Gross. I feel so bad for Michael. He never stood a chance against these people.
Oh no. And I'm sorry. I know that like 3 different doctors have to assess her. I just don't believe for a minute she's that crazy. I just don't. I think they are being cautious. Let me put it that way. I think
They are, I'm sure, because they can't have it come up in the middle of a trial, or especially like a murder trial if essentially they are correct and Michael's remains are found and they're charged with murder. Her competency can't come up in the middle of that because that could throw the whole trial. So they have to be cautious.
And I mean, that's a good thing. And they don't seem to be, I don't mean they're not in a hurry to find Michael or they're not in a hurry for justice. They're not going to rush something to the point where they have to go face Brandy and Tyler and say, listen, we got in too much of a hurry and we blew the whole case.
Right. Oh God. Yeah. No, this team, and I've been frustrated myself because, I'm like everyone else. I want to know why. And there's times when I felt like we should know more. But law enforcement, Fruitland, the state, the FBI, everyone that has come to work this case has been so diligent in taking care of Michael and ensuring that, he is found and justice is served for him.
Absolutely. And, one of the reasons that I say I don't believe that she's crazy, you know what I mean? I think they're being cautious is because she offered up names and explanations when they busted into that house on a Friday night. See, crazy people don't do that. Crazy people don't do that. And well, you see, she gets smart ass with the judge. Here, I'll play this real quick.
Yeah.
It is alleged that you did on or about the 12th day of November of this year here in the state of Idaho fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughan, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death.
We continue to follow developing news.
Okay, watch her. She's shaking her head no. She understands what he's saying. She flips
She
back
does.
and she goes, I
Yep.
understand it's not correct. He asks her about a job. He asks her, how are you going to pay for your defense? Now, mind you, she can't cooperate she can't help in her own defense, right? That's the reason we have to put everything off until May 20th. What does Shrek do? She says, well, I'm not at work now because I'm in jail. She even said it like a mean girl. Yep.
I think she even rolled her eyes at
She did.
him.
She got
One
smart
point.
ass with him, but
Yeah.
she can't help with her own defense, but she can get cute with the judge.
Exactly.
She can get cute with the judge. Well, I
Like
obviously.
to see her get cute with Brandy.
Oh, I know. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Take Brandy 0.2 seconds flat to resolve that cuteness.
Yeah. Yeah. Ilanka said, did the judge say November or did I mishear? This is an old clip. Hang on, I'll go back.
Here in the state of Idaho, fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughan, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death.
See, she's shaking her head no. And what the judge is saying, his wording is so precise. The death of Michael Vaughan with the intent to prevent the discovery of the manner of death. Meaning if she was driving through the neighborhood and she was looking for her purse and her phone in the back seat and accidentally hit Michael, there would be no reason to prevent the discovery because it was an accident. Something else happened.
Correct.
Oh, swear to God. And she's shaking her head. No, she's not having it. No.
Oh, yeah. She's even all arms folded up, very defensive, very, already closed off,
Mm-hmm.
already shut down,
Uh-huh.
not having it.
Nope. Because he said, he explains, he didn't even have to explain. She knows what indigent means. She's going to get a public defender. He asks if you're working. She goes, well, not now because I'm in
I'm in
jail.
jail.
But a few days later, we hear she's not competent to aid in her own defense. I think they're being cautious with her. I really do. I think they're being cautious. I guarantee they're not getting 2 words out of her. I guarantee they're not getting 2 words out of her.
No, she's not talking. I mean, Brandy confirmed yesterday from the most recent update from detectives directly to the family that none of these people are talking. Nobody is bringing forth information.
Oh, I don't think that the nurses and the doctors are going to strong arm her into a confession. When I
No.
say not talking, I mean in any way, shape, or form to make them think that she's possibly cognizant and that she's not crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, no, they're not going to talk. No, they're not going to say a word. No, they're not going to say a word. Let's get to Brandy's interview. Get your tissues.
Okay.
If you need to jump out, Lana, I get it. One thing that Brandy says, spoiler alert, is, let me put it this way. Brandy would have no issue sitting down and having a chat with Sarah Wandra. She'd have no issue
Nope.
talking to her.
Nope.
Not because she wants to be friends, not because she wants to get to know her. She wants answers. Where's my baby boy? Angel P is gifting Crime Lines and Lies memberships. Thank you, Angel P. That is amazing. Thank you so much. She says he's out there. They've been begging and begging and begging. Let me go back to that comment. That comment by LLP. Think about this comment when we're watching this. LLP says, when I saw the update from Fruitland, I said that there is about to be a big break. Tina, who is Brandon's mother, Tina needs to multiply her anxiety times 5 million, and that would be a little bit of what Brandy and Tyler have gone through daily since July of 2021. I love when Brandy says she would talk to her. I'll put it that way.
For more than 550 days, a family has faced agonizing pain, searching for their little boy, searching for answers. Michael Vaughan went missing in the summer of 2021.
The case heated up late last year with police digging up a home close to the Vaughans and naming people they believe are involved in Michael's abduction. But we still don't know where the little boy is.
There's a hole.
July 27th, 2021.
But we keep moving on every day, and we don't give up.
The day the world stopped turning for one Idaho family.
I always write every day what day it is. And it says, be strong, be brave, be fearless. You are never alone.
The day a little sister couldn't play with her big brother.
She picks up his pictures. I leave this one here. She'll walk up and she'll start talking to him. And she'll get sad and she says, I miss Monkey. I miss him too.
A day forever imprinted on the memories of everyone who lives in the family's small, close-knit community of Fruitland, Idaho.
5-year-old Michael Vaughan went missing from this neighborhood behind me.
The search for Michael Vaughan continues.
We just want our monkey home.
Fruitland police say then 5-year-old Michael Vaughan disappeared between 6:40 and 7 p.m. on July 27th, 2021. His family says he was last seen down the road from where they live on Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland, and he spoke to multiple neighbors.
Every minute counts in these investigations when searching for a missing child.
By fall, police said Michael was likely abducted.
I want to hear him say, I love you, Mom. It was the last thing I got to hear. That was the last thing he said to you.
I told him I'd be home to tuck him in.
Multiple agencies, from Fruitland Police and Idaho State Police to Idaho Mountain Search and Rescue and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, scoured the area, searching for Michael on the ground, in the water, from the sky. People from all around the Treasure Valley also helped search for the little blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy, lovingly nicknamed Monkey.
Michael's still missing. He's not home, and we don't have answers. So we keep going.
Monkey's 6th birthday came and went last June.
That one up top is from Monkey's 6th birthday, and all of the Fruitland Police Department signed the ribbon and brought that.
What do you miss most about him?
His hugs, his jumping on me, his kisses, Mama, can we do this? His inquisitiveness about everything. Just wanting to see the whole world. I want to take him to catch more frogs.
With each passing day, Michael's mom, Brandy Neal, holds out hope they can make more memories. She and his dad, Tyler Vaughan, speak to Fruitland police constantly
Darn near daily.
and know they're using every resource they can.
Their hearts are broken too.
Just weeks after Michael's 6th birthday,
We've received some recent leads that have put us out in the area again, searching more acreage.
Fruitland Police Chief J.D. Huff announced a tip in a sea of more than 1,000 tips, led them back to the area where Michael disappeared.
Michael's case fell quiet again for a few months until it got very loud on November 11th, 2022. A major break in the case at a home just across the road, just half a mile away from this neighborhood where the Vaughan family lives. Police say they were looking for Michael's possible remains at a home on Red Wing Street, so close. Brandy says she walked there and knocked on the door early on in her search for Michael.
No one answered when she knocked. Huff said a, quote, very credible tip from someone living in the home led them to believe Michael was buried there. Search and rescue crews used heavy machinery to dig up the backyard of this home on Red Wing Street.
Honestly, I didn't really believe it at first. Like it couldn't have been this close. I literally worn my feet to the bone.
We are all very emotionally tied to this case.
Had to take a break for a second. Lot of comments. Everybody's heart is torn out. When I think about Brandy's a tiny thing. She's tiny.
It is.
And she said, wore my feet to the bone, going around, handing out flyers. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Did you see him around that day? Begging. And there's Tina making a joke about how they found out she had a leaky toilet, to which they said, no, those dogs only do what they're trained to do. Then she says they brought 17 cars and shovels.
Brandy is haunted by the sounds of the machinery that was digging up the Wandra's yard. She could hear that from her yard. She heard that. She still, to this day, hears those excavators, hears the machinery in her head.
Mm-hmm.
It's devastating to this family. And, you know, Tina's leaky toilet, non-existent leaky toilet, in my opinion, that's right, disgusting, Nana Banana.
And I hope people are not bothering Tina, not because I care about Tina's good night's sleep, but because we don't want to give them any ammunition. They're not worth it. Their day in hell is much worse than a bunch of internet trolls in their inbox.
Yeah, I don't know what it is she thinks, you know,
No,
harassment of her son is, when, I mean, what I've witnessed this family go through this last year is harassment. What's happening, you know, us talking about shirtless in the hot tub with his dad, you know, joking about never did he ever see or hear Michael Vaughan's name. That's not harassment. The police putting your son's face up and calling him a person of interest in the abduction and potential murder of a child is not harassment.
Nope, not at all. She wants to talk about harassment. There were times I almost had to shut down this show because people would come in, I swear to God, in truckloads just to harass Brandy. There's one in particular right now that is still picking apart everything that woman has ever said.
You know, why isn't Tyler talking? Make Tyler talk. Have Tyler tell us where Michael's at.
They make it sound like it's a pay-per-view show and they're not getting their money's worth until they hear from Tyler.
That's right.
It's not for their entertainment.
You know. Exactly. They called flat out, how many people out there called Tyler a killer and accused Brandy of covering for Tyler because she's blinded by her love.
Yep. I had a talk with Brandy one day and I said, it seems like when we do a show, the harassment of your family becomes worse. Now, people can do a hate show every day for you, and it's like they get it out of their system and they don't bother them. It's like they got it out of their system, so they just leave them alone. But a show like Positivity for them would make it worse. It would inflame people. And then when the chief said in July, I think it was July or August, when he said the family is not, they're of no interest to us. We do not think, it's like, what part of this for the last year have you not heard when we said he's been abducted?
Well, that still didn't matter to certain groups, because even then I would use the word cleared. I remember even saying that, like, they said cleared when he didn't. He said not the focus, right? So they come out and start to pick that apart and say, oh, they said not the focus at this time. That doesn't mean they couldn't be the focus again in the future, and come out with their rhetoric and their crap and their innuendo and agenda based on statistics. And Brandy said forever ago, publicly told everyone that law enforcement told them they believe Michael to be the one in, 300,000 stranger abduction. And they got ripped apart for saying that.
I know, she said it on my show, March of 2022, almost a year ago. She was saying the statistic and what Chief Huff had, I think it was Chief Huff had said. I don't want to misquote, but anyway, and it lit a fire. It lit a fire, but they're not looking at another statistic. How do you? I just have to say it because there's no way to sugarcoat it. In 20 minutes, how do you murder and dispose of your child?
Right.
How do, or anything, a cat. Sorry, my cat. You know what I'm saying? How?
Sorry to your cat.
20 minutes.
Sorry to OJ. Yeah, well, and let alone in front of 3 other children without them seeing or knowing.
A busy neighborhood, you have people outside. Tyler never left the neighborhood. He never left.
The neighbors who saw Tyler running around looking for Michael are haunted by that image and sound of his voice. If you talk to them, they're haunted by the sound of him running around screaming for his son.
But they said that was a show. So also in this 20 minutes, 20 minutes, he was also putting on a show and ordering pizza. I can't.
No, it's sad. And I still think to myself, if Michael's deceased and this is true, like, how long did these people keep him alive for their entertainment, for whatever their reason was for taking him, while the internet pointed fingers at the parents, while the internet called the FBI claiming the parents, did it because they have recordings, while the internet, called child protection services to have their other children removed from their home, wasted resources that could have been pointed toward bringing Michael home alive.
Well, and the whole time the FBI and Fruitland and Idaho State Police were working on it, they're saying that it could have been solved faster had they put together the search that they offered and a private investigator. These people aren't going to talk. That's crazy.
Well, and while people were, all saying that, the fact of the matter is there was a private investigator already. The family already had one. It just wasn't broadcast because you don't do that. And because actual private investigators don't go out online like, hi, I'm the PI for this case and I'm working it. No, they go work it.
Private investigators, polygraphs, and rewards in these cases, I don't care about them. A private investigator, the only thing that they're good about is that people will talk to them sometimes because they don't want to talk to the police.
Yeah, they're scared.
I kind of get that part of it, but still, they can't get warrants.
No.
They don't know how to collect evidence per se, and if they do, they can't submit it. They can't. They
still have to go through LE. They still have to report any findings, to law enforcement if they're going to actually help the case. But the point was, there was internet trolls, saying like they're going to hire PIs because the family didn't want one, because the family didn't want their child found. And that's what was damaging, is to go out there online and say they don't want to find their kid. Like they're not even going to do XYZ fill in the blank, but we're going to do it for them because we actually care more than they do. That's what's
it never happened. And if the PI was worth their salt, they would have come back and said, no way that the parents could be responsible. No way. And then what are you going to do? You just paid to hear you were wrong.
Well, one can hope. I hope that's what happened when they had paid for their 4 PIs. Oh.
Hang on, we got some comments here. Mama Bear says Idaho does not have the insanity plea, do they? No. They do not.
No, Mama Bear, Idaho is one that will make you be competent. And in Idaho, competency merely means that you understand the court process enough to participate in your defense.
That's it. That's it. Oh, Oklahoma's the same way. You're going to, if it takes 50 years, it takes 50 years, but at some point you're going to stand trial. Kim said, hi, everyone, I'm late. We had an earthquake in Buffalo. What? My God, just the minute I complain about my weather, someone's got it 10 times worse. And they've always got it worse in Buffalo, New York. I'm telling you. That's awful.
Feet to the bone.
Okay. Here is their house, the Wandras. Over here is Monkey's neighborhood.
Correct.
It just looks different when they do it like this. I've seen a ton of maps. This one just looks different.
Yeah, because they're coming in from the field side.
Yeah.
Aerial view. So the main road is to the other side. The entrance exit that everyone's used to seeing would be on the other side of the picture.
Can you see my mouse on the screen?
I can. Can everyone else?
Okay, so where I'm pointing right here, is that where the Honda Pilot was parked, or was the Honda Pilot down here?
I thought the Honda Pilot was on 8th.
Okay.
Which is the next road over, the main road.
We are all very emotionally tied to this case.
Brandy says police told them to hunker down and to stay away from the excavation.
I sat at the end of the road. I watched the trucks leaving with the dirt. But I promised my family, I promised law enforcement, I promised everybody that I wouldn't go over there. It was like day one again. The first weeks, months, not being able to drive, not being able to think, not being able to do anything. Pour yourself into a shower.
The next day, after more than a year and a half, police arrested someone they believe was involved in Michael's abduction. Even without finding a body, they charged one of the people living in the home, 35-year-old Sarah Wandra, with failure to report a death. Police, for the first time, saying they believe Michael is dead.
Do you understand the allegation that's been made against you?
I understand what they've said is not correct.
But how could they arrest her without finding a body? Chief Huff could only tell me they had probable cause for prosecutors to charge her beyond just statements made.
You're confident that they have more?
They can't tell us, but I'm confident in them.
The judge sealed the probable cause affidavit and other records, not wanting to.
Okay, I'm glad that he did clarify that. And he said it's not just statements made. So it's not goofy, Sarah saying something, or Stacy, or her parents pointing fingers. They have much more. Probably digital evidence, messages between them. Who knows?
I'm going to guess with how much they were on social media and like to record themselves, that most likely digital evidence exists. Again, that's not been confirmed. Like I said early on, for those that weren't here, detectives did tell the family that they recovered, enough to prove that Michael was inside the Wandra's home. Correct.
Yep. I'll listen to that again.
They believe was involved in Michael's abduction. Even without finding a body, they charged one of the people living in the home, 35-year-old Sarah Wandra, with failure to report a death. Police, for the first time, saying they believe Michael is dead.
Do you understand the allegation that's been made against you?
I understand what they've said is not correct.
But how could they arrest her without finding a body? Chief Huff could only tell me they had probable cause for prosecutors to charge her beyond just statements made.
You're confident that they have more.
They can't tell us, but I'm confident in them.
The judge sealed the probable cause affidavit and other records, not wanting to jeopardize the high-profile case. The Payette County prosecutor said Wandra was on pretrial release at the time, charged with unlawful possession of a gun by a felon. She lives with her partner, Stacy, who's been in the Washington County jail.
Why do they say partner? They were married. Is that just the PC thing now?
Maybe it's just the PC thing.
Okay. Well, because hell, how do you define it? I'd be like, yeah, that's her partner. I'm not getting into all that.
Since May of 2022, accused of the same gun charge.
Never seen them. Never met them. We left flyers in the door.
In December, Sarah was committed to the state psychiatric hospital after she was found mentally unfit to assist in her own defense.
It's disheartening. It's upsetting.
Proceedings are paused until her competency can be restored.
But I understand. I understand the process.
According to Chief Huff,
when she was speaking to the judge, she understood she didn't have money for an attorney. She was a smartass that said, well, not right now because I'm in jail. She said, I understand it's not correct. So how in a matter of a few days could she be deemed mentally unfit? Again, I think that she played the crazy card and they're being cautious. I really think that they are just being cautious with her.
I think due to her lifetime of mental health issues and this, weight of the situation here, they have to be cautious. They have to put her in the hospital and cross all the T's and dot the I's.
100%. Yep.
She isn't cooperating.
I want answers. I need answers. But I'd like to sit and have a conversation with her face to face with me.
I love when she said that. I would love to sit across from her, face to face, have her look at me and have a conversation. Let me tell you what, she'd get competent real quick if she had to face Brandy.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see her fold her arms and roll her eyes at Brandy.
Uh-huh. Let me tell you, I understand they can't do it and I understand they won't do it, but damn, if they want it done and done fast, bring Brandy into her. Sit down and say, all right, she wouldn't play crazy for too long. She wouldn't play crazy for too long. It'd be done.
But she can't yet. No, not yet. There will be a time.
Crews spent days digging up the Red Wing Street property. They brought human remains detection dogs.
All of them alerting to the presence of human remains. Although the remains of Michael Vaughan were not recovered, we strongly believe, based on evidence, that Michael was abducted and is deceased, and that his remains were buried and later moved from the property.
In that same December news conference, Chief Huff announced they believe 2 more people have firsthand knowledge about Michael's disappearance. He said Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucian lived at or visited the Wandra's home when Michael was abducted.
We also believe that there are others associated with the Wandras, Shirtliff, and Lucian who may have knowledge of Michael's abduction
Police believe Lucien is bouncing between Ohio and California. Public records show he has a lengthy criminal record in multiple states. Shirtliff also has a long rap sheet. In fact, court records show he has a warrant out for his arrest in Canyon County for violating probation, which Chief Huff knows about. From CUNA, Shirtliff's mom told us he now lives in North Dakota. Via Facebook Messenger, she also told us in early December, investigators and cadaver dogs were at her house for days. He is not running. He has nothing to hide, and we have all been cooperating, his mom wrote. A week after releasing their names, Fruitland police said they made contact with Lucien and Shirtliff. However, they haven't charged the men or issued any arrest warrants. While Huff wouldn't comment on why, he says he's confident arrests will be made in this case.
It's not fair if you have information about Michael and you've watched us for this past 545 days and you haven't said a damn word. And we have to wait and wait and wait and still take care of our family and our lives.
That, she said, you haven't said a damn word. You know, we've been looking and looking and looking for Monkey. You know, we've been looking for our son. We've been on the news. We were passing out flyers. And that goes for Tina, too. You know, we've been looking, and you wouldn't.
It's not that far from Fruitland. CUNA's right there in the valley. You know, it goes for you, Tina.
Somebody needs to say something, and they need to start talking.
As investigators press on, Chief Huff says they continue working closely with the Payette County prosecutor.
You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop.
I hate these words. But we will bring him home one way or another. We'll never give up.
While they wait for answers,
these are every single card, kind note that has been sent to our family.
Support from their community and from all over the world.
New Zealand. Little Kiwi for Michael when he comes home.
Helps their world slowly turn again.
Michael is still missing. We do not have answers to where he is. Please keep sharing his beautiful smile, his beautiful face. He's out there somewhere, and we need him home. Don't forget about him.
Multiple status hearings have been set for Sarah Wandra, with another scheduled for February 6th, which we will, of course, be covering. Meantime, Chief Huff believes they'll be doing more searches. A week ago, he posted on Facebook saying they are following up on new information. While searching the home on Red Wing Street, he said investigators recovered several pieces of evidence. Some were sent to a private DNA lab for analysis, which takes time, as everything has with this ongoing active investigation. Huff told me, quote, "I'll continue to ask for patience as we continue to seek justice for Michael."
This is the toughest thing for families of missing children. It's the not knowing, right? Because they can't ever move on. No matter what police say, no matter what the, guesses are, the suspicions are, it doesn't matter. This family wants answers. They want Michael back, no matter what. And they need to know that they're going to get those answers.
And they are going to get the answers. They are, just not from the guilty. The ones that did this are not going to talk. We know that. They're not going to. I mean, they're out and free right now. Brandon's warrant that he has is not the type of warrant where they're going to call in the National Guard and the U.S. Marshals and pull him out of the hot tub and knock the beer out of his hand and bring him to Idaho. It's not that type.
Unfortunately, no.
No.
It's not going to bring Dog the Bounty Hunter out, despite how many Twitter weasels tag me saying, Dog, go get him. I wish, but it's not going to happen. If I was Tina, I would have already driven my ass over to North Dakota and brought him back.
Yeah, I've been like, you know what? You were raised better than this, Brandon. You just need to get over to Idaho, get that warrant taken care of, and let them know, help this family with whatever you can remember. But if you can't, if you can't do that, then there's something more going on. I have a feeling that the private lab might even be looking at what they dug up at Tina's house.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Whatever was found there, if anything at all, I'm sure it's same as in Fruitland, they hauled dirt away to inspect at, a private lab. I guarantee they analyzed whatever dirt they removed from her home.
But she makes light of it and says, "Oh, they prayed with me. They had food. I gave them something to drink, and they let me know I had a leaky toilet." Nah.
They didn't pray with her.
Nope.
They didn't pray with her. That's such bullshit,
No, but I have a feeling when she says, her attorney's going to address this slander, the police can't slander you. The police can't slander you. No, that it doesn't work that way. And these people saying that she's guilty, I have a feeling that the police probably said to her, "We think you could be in on this."
Yeah.
I have a feeling they weren't
did.
that nice to her.
They've probably flat out said, "Are you hiding something? Did you hide anything in your crawl space? Did you have Michael at your home?" I'm sure they asked her all of those questions. They were not sitting there around the dinner table praying over, spaghetti and warm garlic bread when they did. No.
Nope. Nope. It doesn't work that way. They're not there on a social visit.
With that, Brooks, I need to hop off. I want to thank you so much for always, always, always sharing Michael's face and discussing these things, as well as shedding light to Tina's ridiculousness. And these people, they all need to come forward. And I hope that everyone in chat just continue to share Michael's face, continue to talk about him. At the end of the day, he is still missing and he deserves to be found. His family deserves to know where he's at and bring him home. That's what we have to keep sharing and pushing for. So thank you so much, everyone.
All right. You have a good day. Don't work too hard, my friend. Snow said, "What is the interrogation process for mentally ill criminals?" The same as everybody. Until they go and they have their evaluation and they say, "Nope, they can't help with their own defense," is what they say. But from what I'm understanding in Idaho, they have to just understand the process. Not like 8th grade civics or anything. We don't want to sprain their brain or anything like that. It's heartbreaking, it's frustrating, it's disgusting. It's just disgusting. There's just no words. There's just no words. But I think we got through everything we were going to go through today. Sarah's next hearing will be March 20th. March 20th. So in the meantime, I wouldn't be surprised if there's not more arrests, more people aren't named. And hopefully, whatever they're waiting for from the DNA lab, I really hope that breaks something open for them. They probably, they probably already know. They already know. They just have to have the evidence to get done what they want to do, need to do, have to do for justice for little monkey. All right, guys, that's all I've got. But make sure that you have the remind all set, that you're subbed. So that way, if I come on at a different time, I said awkward, a different time, like normally it's 9 a.m. Today it was 10 a.m., that you get your notification. I know a lot of people get frustrated and they're like, "I didn't know you were live." If you set it to remind all, then anytime we go live, you should get a reminder. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great Monday, and I will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you very much.